this system up, we're locking it in. It hasn't happened quite yet. It's moving in, but we pretty much have a good idea of what's going to happen to this. So we continue to move forward, and we start to get into tomorrow, into our Thursday. I think we could still have some rain, snow showers across North Carolina. Even though you don't really see it on the European model, it could definitely happen. So we continue to move past this, and then more energy begins to drop down out of Canada. Another reinforcing trough, cold air associated with it, energy associated with it. So we get some light to moderate snow showers. This will enhance some snow off the lakes, and we continue to move deeper into Friday. So this is Friday afternoon. You can already tell there's a little slither of moisture right here across the mid-south, northern Mississippi, northern Alabama. This is kind of our second time frame. Sunday, which is what we're going to get into, our big time frame we're going to discuss, is kind of our third time frame. I would call this our second time frame. And this is getting into Friday night and Saturday morning. I'm going to watch this sneaky little system that is uptrending, a little push of moisture out ahead of the reinforcing trough. Of course, we got snow showers up here, as you can see.
Today begins still in the Smoky Mountains of Tennessee, under the threat and the strong potential of a Smoky Mountain snowstorm coming through. Sarah and I are here, actually, what would be our last day of our anniversary, 10-year anniversary trip. And we got wind of it earlier in the week that there could be potential snow. But come to find out, that potential threat is looking highly likely as the forecast, the various weather models show that there is definitely snow coming, a large band of snow moving through the southeast, and most likely to target and hit hardest the Smoky Mountains, the higher elevations of the Smoky Mountains, but also the foothills, seeing roughly an inch or more, but the upper levels like Mount LeConte in the distance there, seeing between 8 to 12 inches. But it's not just about being here, it's also about being able to drive from here to our home in the Carolinas, and that would be driving through a long section of the Smokies at various elevations. I believe some of them over 3,000 feet as we travel up and down and through the mountains. So a lot to consider here on this Wednesday if we should leave early, which we hate to do because we love snow. And it would be completely awesome to look out here and see all of this covered in white, blanketed with snowfall, which they're saying is going to happen probably around 6 o'clock. It's going to start with rain, then a rain and snow mix, and then turn it into what it sounds like solid snow until tomorrow. And then even more snowfall falling throughout the week into the weekend, as well as in the Carolinas back home. So the Sasquatch here that overlooks our deck is asking us, are you gonna brave the snow? Are you gonna make a memory in the snow? Are you gonna be stuck in the snow? No way to get down the mountain? No four-wheel drive? The van always does pretty good, but can struggle to go uphill, even in slightly slick situations. So, a lot to figure out here. And would like to add it to our repertoire of memories, but we're trying to make a responsible decision that that would be the best for us, and it would be the smartest move, being that it could be a bit of a challenge if we're stuck up here. Hello everyone, Scott here. Sarah and I are still in the cabin and we love it, but like I said, the snow is definitely throwing a spin on the situation, and we've got a lot to figure out today. So we're gonna play it by ear. We're still at the cabin. We just got done having breakfast for the morning. I actually cooked this breakfast. We sat at the table and listened to the various forecasts. Everybody seems to be running different weather models. I'm not a meteorologist by any stretch of the imagination, but it looks like there's a lot of different predictions, and as everyone knows, oftentimes they can be wrong. It can be a lot less devastating as they predict, or sometimes they can be completely off and it can be far worse. And when you're in the Smokies, you know this is definitely a hot spot for cold weather, wintry events. So we got to figure it out. And it's exciting, but at the same time, when you're trying to be make adult decisions, you know that it could lead to potential power outages. It could lead to having to spend more money here at the cabin. And the dilemma there is we could only get one extra day at a cost that we really haven't planned for and don't have the money to splurge for that extra day, but we would if we had to. But we got to think of that. And then even if we did stay through Thursday, what does that mean for Friday? Because if the snow continues, and tomorrow when it drops, they're saying it's going to drop into the teens, the low teens, around 15 degrees here, and then it's going to feel even colder. I think I even heard one person say below zero. But you hear a lot of different versions. But any way you look at it, we got decisions to make in the Smoky Mountains on our 10-year anniversary. And we're running out of time because around 6 o'clock, this area right here is going to probably start raining first. And then the wintry mix is going to start fusing itself with the rain. And then before long, the snow will begin. And who knows what we'll wake up to tomorrow when we're supposed to check out.
Snow right here. We're going to finish this and see the temperatures actually. Yeah, that's snow in some areas. Chattanooga, 2-1 on the surface. Maybe areas that come on the plateau, that could be some snow mountains in North Carolina and Tennessee. That's definitely some snow. Marginal snow, but it's definitely some snow. And then we continue to move forward. What is it going to show for our big time frame of interest? Here it is, popping moisture. It's much earlier. It's Saturday night into Sunday. So it pops off some energy here, but I guess everything is just faster. And we get into Sunday morning, it has moisture. Cold air is working in, but it just, let's look at temperatures here. I don't think cold air. No, I mean, it's close.
This winter is about to make a huge return as a widespread snow event is about to take place across a large part of the United States. Over the next week, multiple Alberta clippers will bring snow to a large portion of the country, including some areas that have not seen any snow this season. This shift in our weather will be driven by 2 Arctic blasts. The first surge of cold air will open the door for snow across the Midwest, the Tennessee Valley, and parts of the Mid-Atlantic, leading to winter weather farther south and east than normal. Snow coverage will be broad, but a few inches of snow will be possible in some locations.
So in the warmth of the cabin, it's what do we got here? It's a nice 72 degrees, 72 degrees in the cabin. Weather report keeping us updated, but all you can really do at this point is wonder how it's actually gonna shake down. And will we be snowed in, or will it just be a light dusting in the area we're in? Lot to weigh and decide on if we should maybe pull out early to prevent any potential of being stranded up on the mountain, or should we stay put, add a good memory to our list of already wonderful memories throughout nearly 16 years together. 10 years of marriage, as I've noted quite a few times. Of course, you never want to leave a place like this. It's just refreshing being inside a cabin. So many little nooks and hidden compartments like the loft up there that you can just hang out in and relax within the Bigfoot Vista Views game room billiards area, which I've seems like I've improved my pull game since we've been here. Not too shabby on the few games I've played. And definitely have gotten my muscle memory a little better on the reverse wheel, the reverse ball they have here. Remember, left is right and right is left. So it took me a while, but I've improved my score on Galaga as well as Centipede and Millipede. Sarah and I have enjoyed the hot tub, and we realized this is the perfect way to watch a meteor shower because we sat on this end of the hot tub. It was a clear sky out here, and you could see Orion. I believe it was Jupiter is in the sky, but plain as day, in the most relaxing position. Your head didn't hurt from lifting your head upward because the stars were literally right there in front of us. So a lot of good times already in the cabin throughout our week here, or not a solid week. Tomorrow we'll make 4 days here at Bigfoot Vista Views. But now we just got to decide, should we extend it one day and hope the snow won't accumulate so much that we're stuck here even further into Friday or past Friday, because we have to check out of the cabin if we do extend it Friday morning because it's not available after that. It is available now, or it is available now through Thursday. Of course, our reservation is only through Wednesday, so we do have to extend it for Thursday, hoping it's still available. Typically, they only allow at least a 2-day rental on a cabin like this, but since we're already here, we can extend it 1 day if it's available. It does come with a significant cost, and that's another one of the dilemmas. Do we splurge and spend money we really shouldn't be? But do we trade that in with the realization that we will have a pretty exciting and pretty, I'm not gonna lie, a little nervous on the whole concept of being stranded up here on the mountains, because up here where we're at is way up the mountain in this resort. Mountain Vista Resort, I believe is what it's called. So we got to figure that out, and then of course all the roads, the back roads, the bridges we have to cross, the little small overpasses that freeze over. Just got to think about safety too. So it's more than just the money. It's more than just thinking about the memory we could create. We got to think safety and keep that in mind. But we're running out of time. It's 20 till 12. All the weather forecasts say tonight, so around late afternoon, 4 or 5, it's going to start raining, and then the snow's going to start happening, and then it's going to snow from the latest ones I've been listening to probably until around noonish tomorrow. So by that point, if it's that type of snow that sticks and the weather's under 20 degrees in the 15 degree range and it's been raining, I think logic would tell you there's going to be frozen roads. So I believe we very well could be stuck here even further than Friday morning, potentially into the weekend. And yet another dilemma would be, even when we get back home, we have to travel through the Smokies, as I mentioned before, and that whole route to get back home is going to experience wintry weather as well. So who knows what will come across there? And then when we return home, they're actually calling for snow in our town that we live in. So a little bit of a snow spectacle, a snow ordeal taking place this week during our 10-year anniversary. So a lot of fun in store. One of the things I mentioned the other day was being that this cabin is called Bigfoot Vista Views, and it's not the original cabin that we originally had thought was the honeymoon cabin, but the exact same layout. We did find it rather ironic that it is the Bigfoot Vista Views cabin. And the reason why is we recently, along with many others, and when I say many others, I mean many, many others on the online community of vloggers and whatnot, had lost a very solid and very common fixture in our, with no exaggeration, our everyday life. Watching him and viewing his videos throughout at least probably over 10 years, watching his daily vlogs, his explorations he would take, his ability to narrate and just talk naturally and be what they're now calling him a lot, a gentle giant, and just a very entertaining and kind person. We lost a person who online is called Adam the Woo, and he was big into Bigfoot. He actually had an air freshener, which he would have a lot of conversations with in his car, that he would call Big the Foot. Big the Foot. And a lot of times when he would do his vlogs and he would be driving towards Disney World or Disneyland or wherever he was going on his travels, he did far more than Disneyland. He did roadside attractions in every state in the United States. His last months of his life, he took an international tour and went to Rome and Italy and Paris and so many different places overseas. He was a lot to so many people, and just one small thing that a lot of people took from the memory of him, and this is definitely just one small thing, would be that Big the Foot air freshener. And when he passed away unexpectedly on December 22nd, 2025, of just a few weeks ago, it came as a shock to Sarah and I, somebody who would be on our big screen TV nearly, maybe not every day, but every other day, or at some point within each day. We would always watch Adam the Woo. He would always lift our spirits, and he would always just have just a conversational tone that made you want to tune in and listen and see what he was up to. And he would not only just take you to different places and show you what it was like and let you see what he was seeing and live the life that he was living, but he would also reflect on his personal life and his concerns and his worries and the way that he saw things and the things that he experienced and how he dealt with troubles and how he dealt with people who would say cruel things to him, and just so many things. He was a force to be reckoned with in the online vlogging community, YouTube community, and so many people knew who he was. So many people loved him. And even though they hadn't met him, like we never had, we truly have been grieving over his loss like thousands of others have. So I share that story with you to let you know that even though Sarah had accidentally booked the wrong cabin that she completely thought was the right cabin for good reason, it's the exact same layout, and the previous property management company who had booked, or we had rented the honeymoon cabin from, sold that cabin, and she didn't know what the new cabin name was. And the former property management company wouldn't let her know what the new cabin name was, so she had to go into a massive search to figure it out, and that's when she thought Bigfoot Vista Views was that cabin. But in hindsight, looking back, it's definitely ironic in some way that we ended up in the Bigfoot cabin. And it kind of serves in the middle of our grief of losing someone like Adam the Woo, that we got to stay in for another leg of our marriage journey. We got to stay in the Bigfoot cabin. It makes us think of Big the Foot, the air freshener. That he would often make funny, comical remarks, speaking to it, with it, as he traveled down the road in his daily vlogs, the Daily Woo. And that Big the Foot was actually a gift that Sarah, when I opened her anniversary card for me, I opened it up and she had gotten me that very Big the Foot that was in his car. So I was really happy to see that, and that will always serve as a sentimental part of my thoughts with Adam the Woo when I see it hanging. And what we did is when I opened that card, or when I opened the air freshener, the card up, and realized she got me the Big the Foot air freshener, I decided we were going to put it on the Christmas tree, and that would be a sentimental ornament, a sacred ornament that we put on the tree each year rather than hang it in the car. So he passed 3 days before Christmas Day, and it came as a shock, not just to Sarah and I, but so many others. There's so many people grieving, grown men, grown women, children, his family, of course. I mean, so many people are grieving the loss of that man. And if you've never seen him, or you've never heard of Adam the Woo, at first you might not think it, he may not appear, maybe at first glance, to be the type of vlogger you like to listen to, but you listen long enough, I can guarantee you'll get stung with the personality and the man that he was. And he shows in his vlogs. His earlier vlogs were definitely a lot different than his later vlogs, but you could actually see over time he began to mature, and things, his life, he started doing rather well on YouTube. And I just believe, getting older and wiser, you can see that over the years of watching him. And you realize that he more or less grew up on camera in front of millions of people. And he had nearly 750,000 subscribers. So he was going on 1 million subscribers. So he was a big deal. But this cabin, Bigfoot Vista Views, does stand as a somewhat tribute to not just our marriage, but also to the loss of our friend and the memory of Adam the Woo.
I did find a place that had cheese fondue, so I'll go back to it later. I just broke my stomach. Look at this old building. This is awesome. You get the newer, well, that was construction, but it's not. That's a finished building right there. Interesting. It almost looks like something's under construction, a newer building, but I really like this. It's been fenced off. For whatever reason, it's probably maybe not structurally sound anymore, but a lot of the old buildings in here with some of the new stores. There's another older building here. 4 o'clock. Designated by the amount of chocolates.
But that's gonna seal this mini quest in its capsule. Got a lot to figure out right now as the wind begins to whip here at the cabin. You can feel the wind. You could probably hear the wind in the video here at 3045 Bigfoot's Vista Views. Oh, it's Bigfoot's Vista Views. I've been saying Bigfoot Vista Views. So it's Bigfoot's Vista Views. So not sure if there should be an apostrophe here for Bigfoot's Vista Views. But we are going to end the vlog here. Sarah and I are going to discuss the best way to manage this situation. Do we create the memory, or do we take the safe route and pull out early just to make sure we can get out of here safe and secure with not going too deep in additional expenses? Something we don't want to let go of and let get too far away from us here at the start of a new year. So for now, this exploration is complete. See you on the next one.